y'all doing? If y'all didn't know, my name is Ariel Taylor, and I am the owner of Ariel Taylor Creative Studio. I'm also am the owner of Chic and Collected, which is my fashion boutique online. I just bought some pins from Target, and I'm so excited to hold one of them. I like to use them when I'm talking. They make me feel comfortable. It's like a comfortable comfort thing, but I love pens. So these are cute. I have a bunch of them, but these are like my cute little cute stuff like this. But yes, so today, let me sit these down. But today we're going to be talking about, are you sure? Like doubting yourself, second guessing yourself. The title of this message is, Are You Sure? Are you sure? You sure you want me to do that? That's how I be feeling sometimes. Um, like sometimes I be feeling like I don't have a filter for myself. And I'm like, oh girl, you don't share that. Don't share that. Don't tell nobody that. But I'm really not a person who gets super embarrassed by my own mistakes either, or like my own lessons that I have to learn. I don't get embarrassed by that kind of stuff because I understand that we all like have to go and we're like in a space where we're growing, every single day. And so if you don't make a mistake or if you don't trip up a little bit, then what did you learn? It makes you human. Hey, sis. I know you've been, I know what y'all know. I know y'all notice I've been being real consistent with going live. So I'm very proud of myself. Pats on my back. How you doing? um, but yeah, so we're talking about, are you sure? From the title of the video, are you sure? That's the live. That's the message tonight. So I ask myself sometimes in this work that I'm doing that I've just decided to kind of get back into. Well, I don't think I ever really left it, honestly, because I'm always like speaking to someone. I'm always ministering to somebody. And I never thought that when I was kind of like turned away when I had desired to become a minister about around the age of 22, 23, 20. It was like 22, 23. And I felt like because I had children that I wasn't qualified. No, you really can't. Um, but I felt like I wasn't qualified. I felt like everybody else who were walking into that ministry class didn't have children. They were men, and I kind of was like, oh, I really want to, teach. I really want to talk. I really want to share my message. Like I look at things so differently than other people. And sometimes like to bring people in on my perspective, it starts like an amazing dialogue and like a chance for, other people to look at things, from a different frame. And I think that's one of the hardest things for human beings sometimes is to look at stuff outside of what it is. Like, okay, so let's just, for instance, like sometimes this is a tooth that my son made. It is a polymer clay tooth that Messiah made. So to y'all, it might not be a tooth though. It could possibly be like a little chair or, something that I could stick a pen on or in, like, so now it's like a pen holder or something. And you never see tooth. But in his vision and what he saw a tooth, in his mind, this is a tooth. And to me, I can see the resemblance of a tooth because he gave me his perspective on what this was and why he designed it in this manner and what he was mimicking it out of. But if I didn't have that perspective, if I didn't get that teaching, if he didn't teach that to me when he gave this to me, then I probably would have made my own assumption about what this was. And so then it would have become all these different things than what it was. And even then, still, what he says it is, not everyone is going to agree, right? So having my own understandings sometimes I felt like would be shunned away because I didn't per se perceive everything like everyone else, and I felt like, dang, are you worldly? Are you worldly? You don't really feel comfortable saying certain things because you feel like it's gonna make you seem outweigh left. But I'm like, well, man, if you just thought about it like that, if you just looked at it in this way, if we just kind of tried to understand where this person's mind is at, where they could possibly be coming from, we would have a better foundation to teach them. And I'm grateful. I am grateful for the teachings that I have had, because it has shown me that not only are we all free thinking people, but I don't want to ever allow anything, religion, my job, my own personal, to stop me from growing. I don't want it to stop me from learning to accept and meet people where they kind of like are. And I don't want to ever forget that I was homeless 6 years ago. I don't want to forget that. I don't want to turn that off. I don't want to become someone who's fakely, cracking open the Quran, reading some scripture, giving you a great message, and then going home and treating people like shit. And I'm just being honest. I just saw 555 on my YouTube live, and I just kind of laughed at that in my head. But now I'm laughing out loud. But I don't want to be that type of I don't want to be that type of person. So if me ministering, me wearing makeup, me wearing my ghettos, me laughing, me being myself, me saying a cuss word every now and then is going to stop you from accepting me as a minister or as someone who is teaching. If you don't like it, then it's like, that's okay. This is my style and how I speak. This is what I do. So I really wasn't too sure about this gift. I really wasn't too sure. I was going back and forth all the time. And I'll even sometimes I gotta sit in on a good conversation and tell me if you've done this before. But like, it may be something that you want to do. Like, I don't know if you're a seamstress or if you're a baker. And so somebody says, yeah, I'm looking for a baker. I need somebody who can bake me a real good cake. I needed to have like 10 tiers and all these different things. And you a baker, and you probably got those cards in your pocket. Well, let me see. Let me see if I can find some. I wish this light could be in ghetto. You probably have some business cards in your wallet, and you're like, oh, I probably should give them a business card. But am I qualified? Yeah, I'm qualified. Yeah, I'm qualified. I put it on a business card. I've had customers, but I don't know if I want to take that on. That's just a little too much. That's out of my comfort zone. That's not something I really want to do. I don't really do 10 tier, right? And so then now you've missed this opportunity. Right. You've missed, and you very well could, because we'll find sometimes ourselves missing. She said, I could probably make one if I pushed myself. And she was talking about the cakes that I was talking about. And she also stated, Nefertiti Strange stated that you can't turn your gifts off, which is very true. So I'm also talking to my YouTube live, and I want them to kind of converse. I don't know how to connect the two yet. I got to get a little bit better with my social media connections, channels, and streams and stuff. But for now, we're on two separate devices, and we're sharing this message and this time together. But yeah, so now you got these 10 cake, this 10 tier cake that you missed up on this opportunity to make $1,000 or plus or whatever, because you were afraid to trust that you were able to do that, even if you've never done a 10 tier cake before. There's so many ways now. You could Google it. You could reach out to another baker and ask their input. Some people are very willing, like, to mentor and share, so not everybody is somebody who'll just send you away. You might just have to do a little bit of work to find somebody, but you could actually take on a task that especially when you know that you have the skill, you just may have never challenged yourself in that way. So I felt like, talking too much is a turnoff. And I don't want to talk about myself too much. And I don't want to share too much. And I don't want to be too vulnerable. And I don't want to come off like a know-it-all. So I'll just be quiet. I won't say anything. I won't give my input. I'll just sit here. And so I would sit in study groups sometimes, and I would just like be agonizingly like, oh, if you know me, I like to share my opinions. I like to, I'm like a chatter. I'm a person who loves to talk. I'm very silly. Sometimes I get very uncomfortable with going live on Facebook and going live, period. I don't know why, because I can't see you guys. I only have to see the little, like, who attended and who didn't. And I'm just like, oh, I need to put something over it to where I don't even pay attention. I forgot about that. But like putting something over it so that I don't see anyone. But, I've just gotten comfortable with this. And I'm a very, vibrant person. When I walk in a room, you'll know that I'm in the room. So it's kind of hard to convey my energy. I hope that I am through the screen, but I definitely am not a person who's, shy about giving my opinion if someone asks. And I'm not shy about being myself. It's just a lot of it was being reserved because I just wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to act that way. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to talk that way. I wasn't sure if it was okay for me to, be like that because it wasn't following society's norms of what everyone else was doing. Like, here's everyone else with their, like here, I'm gonna give you guys some highlighters for instance to show you guys like what I'm talking about. So like here are like, and here's everybody else. And like, here's me. So it's like, I'm like way left. But sometimes how I'm perceiving something or maybe delivering it, and it had me in a lot of self-doubt about the gifts that I possess. The ability to share and to talk and to uplift and to see certain things in my circumstances, and always find the positive and something to keep myself going. I had two therapists. One at first was a guy, and immediately the very first session that I had with him, he was like in tears. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, well, why are you crying? And he had just had a daughter. And he was just like, I could not imagine my child feeling the way that you have felt. I couldn't imagine my daughter um, going through something like this and me not being able to help her. I couldn't imagine like the way that that you're feeling. And he's like, you're so strong. And how do you bounce back? Well, long story short, me and him, we didn't have any. It was nothing wrong. I just was kind of not that comfortable with sharing my story with a guy because I just felt I wasn't ready, to really open up like that. Um, and so I ended up requesting a female, but he was such a nice there. He was very nice. It's just I wasn't comfortable like sharing like that with a guy. So I ended up with a lady therapist, and she's very sweet and she's very encouraging. And she says, you have the tools already. And I said, who gave me the tools, girl? And we be in there just talk. I talk to her like she's just like another friend of mine. But I be like, girl, God, it was not me. It was definitely not me. Because if you'd have left it to me, boy, I'd have been somewhere probably at the bottom of someone's bottle. I would have been on somebody's stripper pole. I would have been somewhere other than here, um, probably wallowing in my sorrows. I don't think I'd ever became a mother. I would have never became a mom. And this message that he has given me wasn't something that I chose. I did not know waking up after I was 18 years old that I was going to be put out, that I was going to be without a job, that I was going to be homeless. I didn't know any of that. So at 18, you don't have all the answers. And, I didn't think I had all the answers. I just felt like I knew I needed to be free from the toxic home environment. So I just left. And that was one of the most fearless things I could have ever done. Doesn't mean that I wasn't afraid. It doesn't mean that I didn't doubt myself and that I didn't go through like periods of straight trauma, like traumatic experiences. And so I'm like, even when I did that, I'm like, God, are you sure? Do I really need to break away from them? It was going to kill me. The mental strain and the stress of the toxic environment that I was in, dealing with a stepfather who was an addict, and he was, addicted to alcohol and drugs. And he was chronically unemployed. And then I'm dealing with my mother who's very disconnected. She's not available. She's going through a lot. She's working a million jobs and stressed out. I was so stressed from just trying to maintain a mental clarity. Like it was just bad. So, stepping out and going through a lot of the experiences that I've had gave me this message. It wasn't me who gave myself the message. It was the experience that taught me to think more highly of myself because of all the things that I have been through in my life. Sometimes we won't. We will look at it and go, oh, I've been through all this stuff, and we're like, oh, it's a badge of shame, when really it is a resume that tells the world how strong you are, how much of a survivor you are, how willing you are to fight for what you believe in, and fight for who you love, and how you're willing to show up and exude God's power, that this was supposed to break me. I wasn't supposed to be here. This was supposed to end me. And here I am on this side, sharing my gifts, loving myself, fighting to be seen, fighting to stay present, fighting to keep my mind. Like it's changed the course of who you might have thought you would have been had it been up to you. So when you next time you like sitting somewhere and you might be second guessing or doubting and like, am I sure? Am I sure that I want to do this? Am I sure about the feelings that I'm feeling? Or, like, is this the right direction? Are you leading me? I mean, even to the point where I was so scrambled in my mess that I could not see when God was talking to me sometimes. And when I look back on it, I go, oh man, he was talking to me right there. Oh, he told me to stay away from that motherfucker. Oh man, he told me not to buy that. Oh, he showed me. Oh, he did. He showed me. He sent it through so many people. And then you be like, dang, I was second guessing it. I was doubting my connection. I wasn't believing. I wasn't, actively practicing. I wasn't actively practicing what I said I was, a believer. So, yeah. She said, yes. I just saw it. It just popped up, and that's so funny. But I'm just saying, sometimes I get in my moment and I just have to like go there. I get so excited. I really can't wait to like this event on the 22nd, because I know it's going to be powerful, and I know that some lives are going to be changed that day, including mine, because I have been waiting so long to get back, sharing and uplifting. I needed some upliftment for about a good year. I was just kind of like struggling through grief. It was a dark, 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 dark. I mean, it was so dark. It was a very dark path for me. Um, acceptance acceptance is what brought me here, right now, and a determination to not allow my own doubt to knock me off, because it ain't nobody else but me. So like I said, I have to keep that in mind. If it's going to be me, just me, if I'm going to have to go it alone, then I shall. But I want to make sure that I'm uplifting a lot of people along the way, women and men, boys, girls, children, elderly. That's what I'm here for. That's what I want to do. So tickets are on sale right now. They are $10. And I'm also recording here on YouTube, so I'm going to give them my outro really quick. But the tickets are $10, the early girl game right now. And if you head over there, you grab your tickets before the 18th, because the 18th they will go up to $15. And I don't know. I don't know. Let me think. What can anybody expect from that night? I don't know. But expect to be changed. Expect to be uplifted. I'm asking God right now to just whatever it is you want me to say, however it is that you want to use me in that moment, to use me, because I have a notebook where I keep my notes of things, and I jot down little stuff that comes to my mind, and I'll write a speech and I'll read it over, and then I'll go, oh no, that ain't, I don't want to say that. Or when I get in the moment of speaking, I don't even say what's on the paper or even touch anything that's on the paper, because God has, come in the room. That is my children. But God has come in the room and changed me and led me to a different message, because whoever was present needed it. So I'm trusting it. I'm not fighting anything. I am trusting that this is what I was called to do. So this little light, this little light of mine, it don't wanna shine. I think it's this cord down here. I need to finish setting up my office, y'all. It's my office. I need to finish setting it up. We're in the process right now, continuing on building this office up. So I got everything that I need for it. Let me move this over. I got everything that I need for it. Now I just got to put everything together. My table comes Monday. I have another table that I'm doing. Oh yeah. Comment below if this message was one that you enjoyed. Let me know if you got if you're gonna if you got